Yo, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Comicreview47 podcast. In this podcast, we're going to be reviewing Black Panther, which is actually one of the most popular movies of 2018, and it's probably going to be the most popular in the entire year. Now, Black Panther is actually no joke. This movie so far has gained $909 million worldwide, which is a huge accomplishment, making more than even Batman v Superman. It's probably going to make more than Batman v Superman by the time it's done in theaters. And this movie has had a lot of positive reviews. And although the movie was actually really good, I did find a couple plot holes, as every movie has. So I'm going to be reviewing the good things about this movie and the bad things. And I actually found a good amount of bad things. But that doesn't mean that the movie wasn't good. I actually did enjoy the movie. And honestly, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10 because later I'll explain why not like 9 out of 10 or 9.5 out of 10. So let's look at the first thing that I thought was pretty cool about the movie. Now, we get to see a look on Wakanda, which is a made-up city. Wakanda isn't an actual city. In the comics, though, Wakanda is like a secret city that pretty much operates on vibranium and has a lot of technology. And it's a traditional type of, not city, sorry, country. And it's a traditional type of country. They do all these sort of culture type things. And, I like the whole ideal of the Black Panther itself. Now, I like how Wakanda, they put, cool technology. Although it is very technological, it does seem very cultural at the same time, which is a good mix. And so like one example is like the ships have no pilot. We see during the movie that, you could just sit and control a vehicle such as a car during the car chase scene, or a ship, as we see kind of towards the end of the movie. And we do see this in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Like, we see a race of golden people. I forgot what their name was, what their race was called. This was towards the beginning of the movie, and they actually do use this kind of technology where, they have ships without a pilot, as to not sacrifice one of their own people, as they can't really make any more people. I'm not sure what the story was, but they do have that same technology. But they control the ships through a sort of computer type screen. But in Wakanda, they use a more 3D VR-esque type control over the ship. And I thought that was pretty cool that they do that. Now, most of the designs are made by T'Challa's sister, as we see in the movie. So I thought that was actually pretty cool. And I'm going to talk about her later on in this review. So another good thing was Black Panther's suit. Now, I thought his suit was actually really cool looking. So they did change his suit throughout the movie. In the beginning, it was pretty much very close to how it looked in Civil War. Now, I thought the Black Panther movie was going to take place before Civil War, and kind of during maybe the Avengers period, because, origin stories usually go a few years back. But, I thought that was cool, that they did the origin story after Civil War. So, his suit pretty much looked the same, except that instead of the gold lining, there was white lining in the beginning. And later, his suit, the eye sockets, the white sockets, they were actually open, and you could see his eyes, and the lining was a glowing purple, it showing the sort of kinetic energy that was projected from his suit. So that was actually a pretty cool concept that I like. Any type of energy that was thrown towards the suit, he could essentially absorb that kinetic energy and kind of, in a sense, blast it in a kinetic type energy. I don't know how exactly it works because it didn't really need much explanation. It's just collect kinetic energy and absorb it and push it out, pretty much. So we did see a couple examples of this where, for example, in the car chase scene, or, towards the end of the movie where he's going against the other tribe, and even against Killmonger. So I thought that was pretty cool. His suit has claws, and his entire suit is made of vibranium. Now, vibranium is like the number one essential metal that is used in Wakanda. Now, it was thought that vibranium was almost non-existent, that, Captain America's shield was the last of it, and, there was only a small piece. Now, Wakanda has plenty of vibranium, and they actually have, like, way too much of it. It's as common, even more common than, than common metals like copper and, nickel, I don't know, things like that, and iron, and so on. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool how they put vibranium. Now his suit is probably worth trillions of dollars, since a small piece of vibranium is worth millions or maybe even billions of dollars, and they have tons of it in Wakanda. And yeah, and another thing that was cool about his suit is that it was bulletproof. So whenever he went against enemies, like for example in the beginning, bullets didn't have any effect on him. Actually, later on in the movie, bullets helped out his suit use that kinetic energy pulse, which is actually pretty cool. So the more you shoot at him, the more dangerous he becomes with his suit. And also, the suit was actually compact. He just put on a necklace, Wakandan necklace, and then he could just extend the suit all over his body. And since it was made of vibranium, even if it's a thin amount of vibranium, it's actually very strong. So yeah, and his claws, he could pretty much scratch through anything except vibranium, because, uh, or how do I explain this? Black Panther's claws are essentially the same as Wolverine's claws, but actually Black Panther's claws could cut through Wolverine's claws, because Wolverine's claws are made of adamantium in the comics, and Black Panther's claws are made of vibranium, which is the same material used in Captain America's shield. Now, vibranium is actually stronger than adamantium, which is actually pretty cool. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I'm pretty sure that vibranium is actually the strongest material in that universe. Now, I could be wrong. There could be other materials stronger than that, maybe somewhere else in space. But from what I know, it is the strongest material on Earth in the comic Marvel universe. So yeah, so another good thing about the movie was the villain. Now, the villain was Killmonger, and I actually thought he was a pretty cool villain. I thought that was pretty cool, the concept that, every mark on his body was a person that he killed, kind of like Zaz. I did a review on him, if you guys want to check that out. Long time ago, I did that review. Yeah, and, I feel like he had pretty good motives. Like, I think if that were to happen to me, I would actually want revenge against, T'Challa's dad and, Wakanda and all that, because, his dad was killed, although he misinterpreted, because his dad was the one trying to kill T'Challa's dad, but he didn't actually know that. So I feel like he should have been able to know all the details before just assuming that T'Challa's dad killed Killmonger's dad for no reason. He only killed him in self-defense. Now, I'm going to look at a bad aspect about that later, but I will for now talk about the good one. So, there was actually a lot of good action through the movie. I think my favorite scene was the car chase. The car chase was actually pretty badass. We can even see how cool it looks in the trailer, with the slow-mo type flip. The CGI and the visual effects were really good. Now, one thing I liked was when T'Challa, through the movie, they buried him in sand, this kind of reddish sand, while he drank a Black Panther type potion, this herb that is used. So through there, he was able to communicate to his dad and ask why he killed Killmonger's dad, and things like that. And I thought that was pretty cool how, T'Challa's dad was just kind of a panther himself, and, T'Challa was able to see his descendants as a form of a panther, because that's essentially what the Black Panther legacy is. It's a Black Panther, a spirit animal, you could say, passed down throughout generations, and now T'Challa, it's his turn to be the Black Panther. And yeah, I thought those were pretty cool visual effects right there, and the action, like I said, was good, and all around, the movie was actually pretty funny. Now, there is one joke that I did not like. I actually thought it was pretty cringy. I'll talk about it in a bit. Ulysses Claw, I actually did like him because he was pretty funny. I liked his laugh, and he was just kind of a crazy dude overall. Um, T'Challa's sister is actually pretty likable. I think she's a good character. She's fun, outgoing, and yeah, I thought that was pretty cool how she designed all these kind of technologies for T'Challa. Since Wakanda had the sort of tools to be able to advance so much compared to the outside world. I actually liked in the beginning of the movie, when T'Challa um, was talking to the general, and she told him don't freeze when you see I think her name was Naka. I think I can't remember her name, but Black Panther's crush. She told T'Challa to don't freeze, and he said I never freeze. In the trailer, I didn't understand that joke. I was like, wait, what do they mean don't freeze? But but it was funny because as soon as T'Challa helped save the couple people, he was just stuttering a lot when he was talking to his crush. So I thought that was pretty funny. And another character that I did like was the CIA. His name was Everett, and yeah, I think he was a pretty likable character. And he played a part as a hero in the movie. When he was taking the ship. Now I'm not really sure what exactly he was doing with the ship. Maybe it wasn't explained well. Maybe I wasn't paying too much attention. I don't know what was the deal there, but I got kind of lost throughout that scene. And yeah, I like how Wakanda in the beginning they just kind of help people in secret because they helped those guys in the night, and they didn't really know who did that. And then once they saved those bunches of people in the trucks, they told them not to speak a word of what happened because they don't want Wakanda to be have anything to do with the outside world, because if they try to show themselves to the outside world, then there's going to be a lot of people and corrupt governments trying to use the vibranium for their own selfish purposes. So I thought that was a good reason why Wakanda stays hidden. And yeah, those are actually pretty much all the good reasons why I like Black Panther. And also, there was a good amount of sort of traditional aspects to it. So as I mentioned earlier. And then now let's look at the bad stuff. Now there was a couple bad stuff, but it wasn't such a big deal. But some of them were kind of like big plot holes. Well, one of them that was a small detail. I kind of noticed that there wasn't really much people in Wakanda. It was the whole country, and then like you see T'Challa, the general, their army, and a few other characters, and that pretty much seems like that's all of Wakanda. So T'Challa's sister is designing the technology for all of Wakanda, just her alone, it seems in the movie. Like that didn't really make sense. Like how is she designing technology for everything? For the train, for T'Challa's suit, for Killmonger's suit, as she had to work for him, for the ships. I mean, I don't know how Black Panther's sister is doing all these cool technologies on her own for an entire country. That really doesn't make much sense. Now, another thing that I want to know is how is Wakanda hidden? In the trailer, we see a ship go through some sort of maybe portal or maybe some mist or something that kept Wakanda hidden, but it wasn't really explained in the movie. Now, I'm guessing that there was a sort of maybe an illusion, making it seem like there was just regular land there when Wakanda was actually there, similar to what happens in Wonder Woman, where Paradise Island is hidden with a bunch of mist, and it acts as a sort of portal once the soldiers go in. So I think that's kind of the same concept here with Black Panther. Now what I want to know is how did T'Challa not die? So in the movie there was, a pretty major fight between, the first fight between T'Challa and Killmonger. And, and okay, this actually, I want to know another thing too. Once Killmonger knows who's actually responsible for killing his dad, he still wants to kill T'Challa for no reason. Like, why? Like, what? But anyways, once he does manage to, defeat T'Challa, he just kind of like stabs him in the stomach or whatever, and that doesn't kill him. I don't know why. Even though he doesn't have the Black Panther herb to make him, regenerate pretty quickly and pretty well, he's still alive after being stabbed in the stomach. And not only that, but he throws him off across probably 50 feet into a freaking water, I'm guessing with boulders. I'm not even sure. And if if for the most part people assume that whoever just gets thrown off is dead, that probably means that they're dead. And somehow the Black Panther lived through all that because the tribe of fishermen just kind of found him there, and they kept him alive with ice. Like there was a really big issue with that. Like just kind of people were complaining about Justice League, how they brought Superman back to life. But I would pretty much complain about how they brought Black Panther to life. There wasn't really much explanation. It's just like, oh, nah. It's just like, okay, well, they covered him in ice and he's all good. Yeah, sure. Being covered in ice does help, but they said if he got out of the ice just for a few seconds to get medical assistance, then he would die almost immediately, which also didn't make sense. Was it some sort of magical ice? Was it vibranium infused ice? Was it some sort of ice with the Black Panther herb? I need an explanation. Now that would make sense if they gave T'Challa an herb to revive him, but as far as I know, I don't think they did. So yeah, I think that was a big kind of thing that they didn't explain. So one small detail, the what are those joke, like, ugh, that was a bit cringy. So during the movie, T'Challa's sister asks, kind of in the sort of the vine, she's like, what are those? To T'Challa's sandals. And although it was funny, it would have been funny if it wasn't like an old Vine. It's like that Vine came out like in 2014 or something, and they're putting it in a movie in 2018. It's like putting a dab in 2020. It just doesn't make sense, but it was kind of cringy. Um, Another thing I didn't like is just like T'Challa's dad. Once he kills Killmonger's dad, he just kind of leaves the body there. Like the kid just Killmonger as a kid just looks at his dad dead there with a claw in him. Like what? And then T'Challa's dad just kind of leaves the kid instead of adopting him and showing him the way of Wakanda. Like what? Why? Like I don't get it. Like that's such a like weird thing to do, like a bad thing. And he's supposed to be the Black Panther. He's supposed to be a sort of fighter for good and all that. I mean, he like I don't know why he just kind of left the kid there and the dad's body there for the kid to see. It just seems very inhumane. And that's actually pretty cool because T'Challa says kind of the same thing. He kind of doesn't know why his dad did that, but that's what I'm wondering. And in the beginning of the movie, there was a museum robbery, and it actually went too smoothly. No silent alarms. There was no alarm, no silent alarm, barely any security guards in one of the most highly, let's just say, highly prestigious art museum probably in the world, and it's just smooth robbery. Just two guys. They just shot like three guys, and that's it. Just Claw and Killmonger. That's it. Like, how did they make it so smooth, like a robbery, without anyone noticing? And then I want to know why Wakabi, who is the character who wanted to kill Claw since 30 years ago or so, I don't know why he just turns so easily to Killmonger's side. Like, I don't know why. He just easily turns against his own people without a doubt. Like, I guess it makes sense because he killed Claw, but that's not really a good explanation as to why he kind of turns to the dark side, I guess, so to speak. What I didn't like was that in the post-credit and the credit scenes, there was no mention of Thanos, no mention of Infinity War. The closest we saw was Bucky Barnes. but like we just saw him in Wakanda. Now I can't really remember what happened to Bucky, if he got lost somewhere, or I don't know if he accidentally discovered Wakanda or something. But yeah, like I didn't really get the deal with that. And so there was no mention of Thanos. They should have at least showed the trailer for Infinity War. I thought that would have been cool if they put that just as a post-credit scene. Even a clip, just 10-second clip, 20 seconds. That would have been cool. Okay, so now there's the question of the CIA agent. So, towards the middle part of the movie, the CIA agent was kind of shot and almost dead. So they were deciding whether they should kill him or not, because if they don't kill him, then he might tell the rest of the world about Wakanda. And if they do kill him, then they're gonna feel guilty about it. And especially T'Challa, who was kind of, I felt like he was the best character in the movie and the most humane, I would say. And so yeah, not only did they not kill him, which is fine, but they left it. They just kind of let him wander around the lab and see everything about Wakanda and help them out and everything. Like, how is the CIA agent not gonna say anything about this to the government? I just don't know how he's gonna keep this a secret. Although towards the end of the movie they don't keep it a secret anymore, but still, like during the movie, the CIA agent could have just reported in real quick just to say that Wakanda has a lot of vibranium, and the government would have just come in rushing in. I thought that didn't really make much sense either. I think the last thing that, was kind of not that bad, but it was just kind of like meh, like I feel like the ending, because there was like the ending was kind of weird and like kind of okay, because first of all there was the whole cliche kiss, like um T'Challa liked I forgot her name. I don't know why I keep forgetting her name, but his crush, and then he gave her a kiss at the end. It's like, oh, okay, well that's actually extremely cliche. I was like, oh my god. Um I thought movies would be over that by now. But anyways, and also towards the end of the movie, Killmonger just kind of looks into the sunset as he dies. That's also very cliche and kind of weird. I don't know. It seems like Killmonger just kind of regrets what he did, but I'm not even sure. Like, it doesn't really explain it that well. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. And that's why I give Black Panther an 8.5 out of 10. That I actually wanted to explain a lot about the movie and kind of nitpick things, because that's what I do, in the podcast, since I have more time to explain everything. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this podcast. Thanks for watching, and leave a like if you like these kinds of videos, and let me know what you guys want me to do in my next podcast. Do you want me to review a trailer, a movie that I've seen, a comic book movie? Do you guys want me to review underrated characters in general, or what? Leave a comment below what you guys want me to put in my podcast, my future podcasts. I'm open to suggestions. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. And thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.